Hey, welcome to Plumbing Gurus. My name's Karsten. On this channel, we strive to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. Let's get into the big secret number 3, business management. We will be giving you 4 things in this section to consider. And number 1, manage cash flow. Managing your cash flow is very important when it comes to running a business. This is probably the number 1 reason people fail in business. When you make money in a business, you have to remember that it's not all your money just to go out and spend. So the best thing you can do is pay yourself as little as possible at the beginning, and possibly forever. The more money you can keep in the company account, the better. Not only will you pay fewer taxes, but you will also want to have a cushion for those unknown expenses. This is a very big topic to talk about, and we go in much more detail in the paid course. Financial literacy is one of those things that they just never teach you in school. So if you can grasp this part, you are much more likely to succeed. Number 2, different ways to pay yourself and save for your taxes. So this will go together with the cash flow portion we just went through. As I said, it's very important to pay yourself as little as possible. And the way that you can do this is great because all the little things that you're used to having to pay for, personally, you can now pay for from the company and it can be written off, such as gas, cell phone, portion of your home, your vehicle, all your tools, and the list goes on. This is why hiring of an accountant is so important. We are personally not accountants, so we can't tell you what you can or can't do with this stuff. So be sure to find a quality accountant as soon as possible. There's several different ways to pay yourself, such as a salary type wage, dividends, and much more. As for taxes, this is an accounting thing again, but if you aren't great with money, then we highly recommend just opening up separate accounts where you can have a business account and one separate for taxes. Then you could just go as far as one for wholesales and one for tools, but the most important is paying those taxes and staying out of the negative. Okay, number 3, what software to use for your invoicing, quoting, and bookkeeping. So there are plenty of options when it comes to software, but if you want to follow us and you haven't already started using other softwares, then we recommend using a software called Joist. It's a very user-friendly, and a bonus to getting our course is we will be going through full walkthroughs on how to use this software, and also a full list of different job line items with fully detailed descriptions already made for you. Plug and play, if you will. The nice thing about Joist is that you can sync it with QuickBooks, which is what we are using for bookkeeping and accounting purposes. Number 4, training and hiring employees. This is a very challenging area because finding the right people can sometimes be difficult. But if you join our premium membership, we will be there the entire way from when you are working on your own to when it is the right time to start hiring employees. We will help you decide when to hire and how to hire and train your staff.
All right, now for secret number 4, and possibly the most important one, how to quote and invoice. This is where you really want to make sure you're not shortchanging yourself. Now, as much as you'd want to charge less to get jobs, this is never the best way to do things. If you want to be able to put pride into your work and do the best job you can, you want to make sure you're charging enough. To find out what everybody else is charging in your area hourly, if you don't already know this information, then the best way to do is just call around and ask. Tend to be a customer and get a feel for what people are charging. When charging for materials, this one will be a bit harder because this isn't something people will share with you for the most part. If you know other business owners, then just ask them. We personally do anywhere from 25 to 35% markup on top of what we pay for materials. If an item is really expensive, we usually go on the lower end, but you can make lots of money off materials if you can get good pricing from wholesales. So this is why it's so important to make good relationships with people at the wholesales and negotiate better pricing.
Okay, number 2, using our pre-made template to quote. Here's where we get to the real juicy stuff. This quote template that we made has saved us hours of time in the quoting department. This is something I searched for years when I started out. They have huge softwares that cost thousands of dollars that are only designed for commercial jobs, but nowhere can you find a residential quoting software. This template alone is worth the entire cost of our course. In this template, you just need to set your hourly rates and your material markup percentages. You will also have to set your material prices for each piece of material. You can get all of your pricing by sending a list of the basics that we have listed in our template right to your salesperson at your wholesale. Then you just plug and play and boom, the spreadsheet is done. You're now ready to start quoting with ease. You can easily change the line items to whatever specific things you need. And we always recommend breaking things down as much as you possibly can so that you aren't missing things. You'll want to be able to go back and reference your quotes. Every job you do will usually be a bit different, so it can be dangerous to quote by fixtures because you could be quoting too high or even too low. Quoting too high will generally mean you don't get the job, and obviously quoting too low will mean you don't make enough money.
Number 3, how to quote new construction. So generally you'll get a set of prints from the contractor or client. You'll want to spend the time reviewing the plans first. Make a list of questions for them to ask, such as, is there a recirc line? Is there a water softener? Is there any hot hose bibs? Is there any boiler work? Is there a shower steamer? Having as many questions as possible will make you look good, trust me. And we can help you with this type of stuff if you struggle with it. In our private Facebook group that you will have access to if you join our course, we'll be able to guide you along. You can send us the prints and we have no issues answering your questions and helping you with a list of questions for them. So once you have listed these questions, you want to do everything in email. Then reach out to us to help you once you have your questions answered. You can start using our amazing quote template to punch everything in. Start by breaking down everything you're doing in your jobs. Groundworks, drainage, water lines, tub showers, steamers, recirc lines, gas, finishing. The list can be as big as you make it. Like we said, the more you can break it down, the better. Then when it comes to progress billing, you'll have a reference to go back to the template and bill accordingly. Number 4, how to quote renovations. This is going to be very similar to quoting new construction, always asking as many questions as possible. The nice thing about renos is that you usually can do an on-site visit. Most of the time there's still drywall on the walls, so you can't see what you're dealing with, but renos will always come with experience. So if you really struggle with this, you can use us to help you. We'll always be willing to give you advice. We have a ton of experience in renovations.
All right, thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying this type of content, let us know what other kind of content we can make for you for the business side of things, or if you have any questions about plumbing and the industry itself, please let us know. We're here to help. If you are more interested in seeing more of this type of content, we will be posting a lot more of this stuff on YouTube, but there's a free training in the link description below that is not going to be on YouTube. You can only get it exclusively through that link, so check it out. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the next video.